The crisp morning air brushed against my skin as I cast my line into the still waters of the pond. It was one of those serene days that beckon you to forget the world's worries and immerse yourself in the simple pleasure of fishing. The sun had just begun its ascent, casting a warm golden glow across the landscape, and the mist rising from the water added an ethereal touch to the scene. I sat in the small John boat, anchored near a quiet cove. My friend Jake was a few feet away, focused on his own line. We had been planning this fishing trip for weeks, eager to escape the hustle and bustle of daily life and enjoy the tranquility of nature. Little did we know this day would take a terrifying turn into the realm of nightmares. As I watched my bobber dance on the water's surface, a movement caught my attention. At the far end of the pond, where the water seemed to merge with the horizon, stood a lone figure. It was a man, his silhouette stark against the backdrop of the early morning sun. He stood motionless, almost like a statue, his gaze fixed on the water. I nudged Jake, directing his attention to the distant figure. We exchanged puzzled glances, wondering what this man was doing out here so early in the morning. The scene felt eerie, surreal even, as if we had stumbled upon a secret that wasn't meant for our eyes. But as I squinted to get a better look, a chill ran down my spine. The man was holding something, a shotgun. My heart quickened its pace, and a knot formed in my stomach. This wasn't right. Something was seriously off. Why would someone be armed with a shotgun near a peaceful fishing spot? A sense of unease settled over me, gnawing at the edges of my mind. I couldn't tear my gaze away from the man. He seemed out of place, a dark blot in the tranquil canvas of nature. My instincts screamed at me to leave, to row back to the safety of the dock and get as far away from this man as possible. I whispered urgently to Jake, suggesting that we pack up and head back. But as Jake turned the motor on and we began to pull away, the man turned his head. Even from this distance, I could feel his gaze on us, a piercing, unsettling stare that sent shivers down my spine, and then, without warning, a deafening blast shattered the calm. The water exploded in front of our boat as the shot echoed through the air. Panic surged through me as adrenaline coursed through my veins. Another shot followed and another, the projectiles impacting dangerously close to the boat. Jake's face was pale, his hands gripping the steering wheel with white-knuckled intensity. He maneuvered the boat as best he could, zigzagging across the water in a desperate attempt to avoid becoming a target. The shots continued, each one a stark reminder of the danger that lurked at the far end of the pond. Fear had taken hold of us, trapped us in a horrifying reality that seemed straight out of a nightmare. I huddled low in the boat, my heart pounding like a drum, each shot sending shockwaves through my body. There was no rhyme or reason to the man's attack, just the relentless barrage of gunfire, punctuated by the splashes of water and the eerie echo of the shots. As we sped away from the shore, the man's figure grew smaller, retreating into the distance. The shots ceased, and the world around us gradually returned to a semblance of normalcy. The only evidence of our terrifying encounter was the sound of my own ragged breaths and the racing beat of my heart. We finally reached the safety of the dock, stumbling out of the boat and onto solid ground. Our legs were weak, our bodies still trembling from the ordeal. The local authorities arrived in response to our frantic call for help, but a thorough search of the area yielded no sign of the man with the shotgun. To this day, the memory of that lone angler, standing on the banks with a weapon aimed in our direction, haunts my thoughts. The serenity of the pond has forever been tainted by the sinister presence we encountered that day. It serves as a chilling reminder that even in the most peaceful places, darkness can emerge, shattering the illusion of safety and plunging you into a nightmare you never saw coming.